All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Avrin at Tea Review 2. Welcome to my channel. I am excited about these top 10 favorites videos. First up, right here, we're doing the Adagio Teas favorite top 10 teas from the 2020 Advent calendar. Got my notes here. I'm ready. This is it right here. Got a couple of honorable mentions and the top 10. But you can see the back one. Oh gosh, did you see the back one? I'm gonna cut some of that out. Hopefully you didn't see the back one. I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna hold them like this. Even though can you read that? Let's not get to it. All right, the first honorable mention is the Cherry Marzipan Oolong. Right here, and in the ingredients of this one, we've got oolong tea, cinnamon, apple pieces, rose hips, natural wild cherry flavor, natural almond flavor, cherries, and rose petals. Now, with this one, it smells fantastic. It's floral and very cherry, but not in an artificial way. It's very fresh and lovely cherry smell. Smell calms down after brewing, but it's still nice and noticeable with each sip. On this one, and you get an oolong tea base. You got a nice oolong base with it, smooth and woody. And cherry is light but refreshing on this one. Undertone of rose that I believe lightens up the cherry. So that may disappoint some, but I appreciated the rose, although I probably would have appreciated the cherry as well. So like with this one, I really like that light cherry, that notes I was getting from it. With and it didn't taste artificial. Again, sometimes you put on a cherry, it's just like too much. You're like, that's not cherry, or you're like, that's really cherry, but like when I've never had a cherry that's that cherry or something like that. But with this one, if that would have came out a little bit more, I think this one would have gotten on the list, and maybe with the oolong as well. Maybe with those two kind of came out a little bit more. But like I said, it's an honorable mention. I enjoyed it, and that is the Cherry Marzipan Oolong right here. First honorable mention. Next honorable mention is going to be the Strawberry Banana Split. Now this one went back and forth, and kind of went on the list, and then other teas blends came up and knocked it down, and eventually it became an honorable mention here. But this one, nice strawberry and banana flavors. Doesn't taste artificial with this one. There's hints of lemongrass as well. And sometimes the lemongrass is often bright in blends to me. Kind of stands out a little bit. I won't say too much. It's just bright lemongrass sometimes for me. But this one was more of a dim in this blend. I don't mean that in a bad way. It was just more just mellow, not really trying. I mean, lemongrass doesn't really try to stick out, it just does sometimes with me. But in this one, it's a little bit more in a dim way, noticeable, but kind of in the background, which was smooth and went well with the light creaminess and the sweetness that went on in this blend. There's no bitterness or tartness that I got from here. The rose was light and herbal, and it went well with the hint of floral that I got with this one, the vanilla and the mint notes I was picking up in this one as well somehow. And it seems like there's a lot going on, but it wasn't happening in a confusing or upsetting way with this one. And for this one, I said it's a nice nighttime or after dinner treat that's not too heavy. And I just say nighttime because it's caffeine free, but of course it could be drank at any time of the day here. And in the ingredients of this one here, we've got green rooibos tea, rose hips, apple pieces, lemongrass, natural banana flavor, natural strawberry flavor, strawberries, natural cream flavor, and blue cornflowers. All right, now let's jump into the top 10. I gotta get a sip before I jump into this. This is exciting, and this was a hard list to make. It wasn't just as I drank them, I was like, oh, that's number 8 or that's number 6. It mixed up. It jumped. Blends went up and down the list, and it was hard putting this list together. It was fun. I definitely like doing these lists and sipping through the advent calendars and everything. But this list was kind of whew. So if your favorite is not on here, or if it's a certain number, please don't get upset about it. Everybody has different tastes with the blends. And with these blends, I must say, sometimes, you get a little bit more ingredients in the actual packaging than you do and other people may get or something. So, you may taste a little something more, a little less, but it could definitely be because of the packaging, what was actually in your packaging of the blend. But without further ado, let's jump into it. Number 10, Candy Cane. Candy Cane is a black tea with candy cane pieces, peppermint leaves, and natural candy cane flavor. And that's what I got out of this one. It was a bold black tea that's lightened up with a refreshing candy peppermint flavor. Minty scent is nice, and it opens you up with each sip. Go in there, you're getting that scent. Of course, not as much as before, before you steep it. But the mint and the tea, they kind of play off of each other, but they do it well. And they don't let, the other take over completely, but the peppermint takes the majority of the taste here. You definitely know, this is definitely peppermint. But not in a way that makes you forget that there's black tea in the blend as well. and not in a way that makes it annoying, unless you don't like peppermint, and then you're not gonna like this blend, of course. But and then there's a sweetness going along with this one with the peppermint that does make it taste like a candy cane. Not just like a peppermint, but like also like a candy cane peppermint, like a sweeter kind of version of that, where you got the mint, but you also have some sweetness going on with it. But like I say, if you don't like candy cane, don't like mint, you're probably not gonna like this. If you like that, like I grew into liking mint in those flavors. Like when I was younger, I like just did not like mint or peppermint or candy cane much, but like now I'm just kind of liking it more. In my 30s, I'm not gonna tell you about your age. I should probably like ask like, hey, how old do you think I am? But like when I get into that, I'm older than I look. That's all I'll say. But like, so yeah, that's number 10, candy cane. Number 9, Ra Oolong Cha. Now in this one, we got oolong tea, cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, chicory, cocoa nibs, natural spicy cinnamon flavor, black peppercorn, and cloves. And this one, sweet cinnamon was the main event here for this one for me. And more sweet than spicy, but it does have some spiciness going on with it. And I like cinnamon, so I like the ride that this cinnamon took me on with this blend. With the oolong, I would say in the back seat, the ginger and the cardamom in the seat above the oolong, but of course behind the cinnamon. And I would say like the cinnamon takes several seats in this one. And by taking a seat, I don't mean like going unnoticed or, not standing out. You know how people say like that so-and-so or somebody can take several seats, or hey, you take several seats. I don't know if you heard that saying. Like I've heard people say that, but it means like, I think usually like calm down or don't speak on the situation or you don't know what's going on or something like that. But I don't mean that with the cinnamon. When I say the cinnamon takes several seats on this ride, I mean like you taste a lot of cinnamon. But like, this one, so yeah, the hints of the spice from the cloves I got and the peppercorns for sure. They had the spice going on there with that. Didn't get much from the oolong, and it was more prominent. If the oolong was more prominent and the spices, I believe this would have been higher on my list, because I do really love oolong and I love some spiciness, like, for sure. Like I like my spicy chas. And so, but yeah, number 9, Ra Oolong. And number 8, Earl Grey Bella Luna. And in this one here, you got black tea, coconut, blue cornflowers, natural coconut flavor, natural bergamot flavor, and natural cream flavor. And this is one of those special themed teas that Adagio Teas, you can only get it during when there's a full moon. So like it'll be available on a certain day. I think there's one coming up actually in January, and I'll pop it up right here when this one will next be available. But with this one, it was a very enjoyable Earl Grey with some slight creaminess going on and a hint of coconut. Didn't get a lot of coconut here. I know this says, I think it has coconut flavor and just coconut in it as well. So, but I didn't get a ton of coconut, and I'm hit and miss on coconut. So sometimes I'm cool with coconut, and sometimes I'm like, it took away from it. I don't like the texture, I know, of like coconut like cake or something like that. I like how, it's weird, I like how coconut cake and some coconut things taste, but that kind of grittiness of the coconut, I'm just not a fan of. But like I said, with this one anyways, I didn't chew on it, so I don't know if it got that. But like, so with this one, it wasn't very prominent, the coconut wasn't, and like I said, I'm not against coconut or anything like that. And depending on if it was more prominent or not, I may have liked the tea more or liked it less. So with this one, smooth black tea, and it was surrounded by some of that creaminess. I just really like like a nice Earl Grey. And when you have like some creaminess going on with it, that's nice. Because I don't always make my Earl Grey's lattes, or most of the time when I drink tea, it's just plain, whatever the blend is, I'm just drinking it like that. I've been making a little bit more lattes lately. It's oat milk creamer, oat milk vanilla creamer, and like I got this cookies and cream creamer right now I'm using too sometimes. But usually it's like on a plain black tea or like a rooibos maybe even, or like kind of depends, whether or not, but like so just having a tea that kind of brings the creaminess with it sometimes is pretty nice with the Earl Grey. And this one was nice right here. There's a faint sweetness. It was light, and you get the floral notes with the bergamot and going on there as well, but it was all kind of light. I just like because it was just kind of like a light blend, but it wasn't too light where you have to keep sipping it. So like, what am I getting from this? What am I getting from this? You were getting the black tea, you were getting a slight floralness and the bergamot going on, and a slight creaminess, but it was just kind of like mellow with it. And I appreciate that, because a lot of these blends, some things is really jumping out at you, and you'll see when I get towards the bottom of this list or the top of this list, there's some flavors that really jump out, and sometimes I really want that though. So but yeah, number 8, Earl Grey Bella Luna. Number 7, Campfire S'mores. And this one was a smoky, let's get to the ingredients here. I'm about to jump right into it. And so with Campfire S'mores, ingredients here, we got black tea, marshmallow, cocoa nibs. I'm saying that dark chocolate chips are kind of faded on the back. I must have been like, I don't know if am I just rubbing this? Oh yeah, if you rub it, it starts to come off the ink. Okay, yeah, so your black tea, marshmallow, cocoa nibs, dark chocolate chips, I believe, natural natural chocolate flavor, vanilla cream flavor, safflower, and lapsang souchong tea. So with this one, I got this smoky black tea with this one. It also tastes like it was blended with pu'er. I don't know why, like I was sipping this one. I remember going to get the package, maybe while I rubbed off the ink, I was like, what else is on this thing? What else is in this blend? But yeah, so I've just got like, I feel like I've got a pu'er with that smokiness and kind of like that aged, like it just feel like it's been around, like this tea had been around some. And I don't mean that like it tasted old, like where's the expiration date type of thing. But like, just got that kind of smokiness going on here, that kind of aged smokiness it gave me with this one. And it smelled like it was like in a smoker, like I said. And the smell comes through smokier than the taste. So you definitely get that smell. Like you're smelling as you really go in and you're like, whoa, yeah, but it smells sweet too. You smell the marshmallow a little bit with this one as well. But like, I didn't taste the marshmallow as much as I kind of smelt it. So it's kind of, I don't want to say deceiving in that way, because obviously I like that it's number 7 on the list. But like, there's some light sweetness that goes on with the chocolate in the taste. It reminded me kind of like of a roasted coffee bean with a mix of its smokiness and sweetness and overall like bold tone to it. So this would be one like, you know, that coffee lover you like, you'd be like, hey, check this one out, you know, something like that. Because usually when people like coffee lovers are like coming over to the tea side, and like, you know, what should I check out, Avrin? You know, and I'm like, I usually like lean them towards like a, you know, a pu'er or a black tea or something like that. But if they wanted something a little bit more like not plain, something a little more fancy, something that's going on, this would be one I would put in the, you know, in the booklet for later. Like, oh, I mean, look, oh yeah, Campfire s'mores. Like, check that out, coffee lover. Like, you know, and I'm cool with coffee too. I drink coffee sometimes too. I just drink way more tea than coffee, definitely. But I don't have anything against coffee. But yeah, so with this one, like I said, I didn't get any marshmallow from the taste, so you know, it didn't taste like a typical s'more in a sense with this one. Definitely got that campfire, and I just didn't get the s'mores as much. I feel like if I would have got a little bit more of that s'more, like the marshmallows, maybe some creaminess going on with this one more, then I would have. It definitely would have been higher on the list with this one. But that is number 7, campfire s'mores. Like I said, I appreciated that smokiness, that sweetness with the chocolate. I appreciated that. Number 6, Christmas. So with Christmas here, the blend, we've got black tea, cinnamon, orange, natural spice flavor, cardamom, cloves, ginger, natural ginger flavor, natural cinnamon flavor. And with this one, there was a light spiciness going on with some light sweetness, along with like the orange fruit notes I got out of this one. And the black tea is malty, slightly smoky, which plays well with the spices. I like that. And outside of the tea, the orange and the cinnamon stand out the most in its taste, and cinnamon stands out the most in the smell. And the orange isn't very like fresh fruity, but it's more of like a baked fruity in that spectrum of like fruit. You know how like fruit you can taste something like, yeah, that's really hydrating, really fresh tasting or something like that. This was more like a, you know, that's been in the oven or something, haven't it? You know, and that leans with that smokiness I was getting from the tea, I believe, with this one, and the black tea with this one. And so, you know, I also got some like dark chocolate notes out of this one, like a bittersweet cocoa flavor going on with the aftertaste of this one. And, you know, in that aftertaste, I got the tea and the ginger going along with that bittersweet cocoa flavor going on there. And I was hoping that this one brought out the spices a little bit more. You know, is that a theme going on? Like, I want some spices. Maybe I just really want a chai, you know, or something. When I was like drinking some of these teas, I'm like typing notes like, I want a chai. I want these spices to come out more. But like, that's just personal preference, you know. But obviously, I really like this one. It's number 6. Like I said, this to get on this list means I like you. Like, I like all. Overall, let me just take a pause from this one for a second. I apologize. Great calendar, you know, great blends in this calendar, and it was multiple blends I haven't had before, so I really like sipping through it. Having some old ones I liked before, but different ones like that. As you can see throughout the video, I took video of all the blends so you can see exactly, you know, the package, so you can see exactly the ingredients I got inside the blend, you know, so you can see noticeable, you know, ingredients like, oh, that sticks out, there's that, I see that in that tea, you know, something, oh, you didn't have much of that in that tea. You can see that in the video. Definitely want to be as detailed as possible with that. And so, and with this one, you know, as you can see in the video with this one, there wasn't many noticeable ingredients really standing out in this one, but I did get a lot of different notes going on with this one that I really appreciated. I feel like if there was just more of this blend, that I would like this blend more. You know what I mean? Like, I liked all the ingredients that I got from this blend, and the, you know, I'm reading the ingredients on the back, but if there were just more of them, and I don't mean like less tea, just give me more. You know what I mean? Give me more ginger, give me more cloves, give me more cardamom, give me more orange, give me more black tea, give me more all this, give me more cinnamon. But yeah, so that's number 6, Christmas. Number 5, golden turmeric chai. With this one here in the ingredients, we got a turmeric inclusion, it says. Ginger, cloves, cinnamon, fennel, black peppercorn, natural spicy cinnamon flavor. With this one, there is a smooth turmeric that has some sweetness going on with it, and the spice heightens but never becomes overbearing with this one. There's a nice sweetness and spiciness aftertaste going on with this one as well, and the spiciness from the cinnamon and the ginger, it comes and goes. You know, it finishes with a light, nice, but noticeable pepper aftertaste that lays on the tongue right there with that spiciness. It's nice. And all the notes go along well when you taste them together. And when they come in a different order, it's like the ingredients, they have like manners going on with them, you know what I mean? So it's like the cinnamon is like, you know, it is like, okay, it's your turn, ginger. And then the ginger like opens the door for the turmeric. And then the turmeric is like, oh well, I don't want to overstay my welcome, but if you insist, you know, and then the pepper doesn't understand if like the turmeric or the other spices are joking or not. Like the turmeric's like, and the pepper's like, I'm not sure if these guys are joking or if they're being serious. So it just kind of comes in softly, but noticeably more in the aftertaste. And I know you're thinking like, did you really write that kind of stuff, Avery? Like, I really, like when I'm making notes, so if you see my reviews, you know I'm explaining how I taste the ingredients and what I taste more and things, but I'm also like, it's almost like a play or a musical sometimes, or like a instrumental going on with these ingredients inside of my head, but like, I don't know if you can see, like, yeah, like I really like wrote all that out, but so anyways. So that's what I was getting with the golden turmeric chai. You know, very nice chai. Like I say, the ingredients weren't overbearing. They all flowed together well. And like I said, they had manners, opening doors for each other, you know, rolling out the carpet for each other. Hey, turmeric, have you met Ginger before? Hey, this is my friend Ginger. Turmeric, Ginger, turmeric. You know, like the ingredients were like doing that with each other and everything when I got out of this one. So that was nice. And that was number 5, golden turmeric chai. And number 4 here, we've got honey bush blueberry pancake. And with this one in the ingredients here, we got honey bush tea, rose hips, apple pieces, maple flavor, blueberries, natural blueberry flavor, blue corn flowers, and vanilla cream flavor. You know, this one reminded me of a pancake, and that pancake, how does a pancake, I don't know why, that just sounded like I said that really weird, I don't know. Anyway, this one reminded me of a pancake with some powdered sugar and vanilla beans sprinkled on top, with some light syrup and blueberry compote going on with this one. And then even with that going on, there seemed like there was like a hint of like blueberry and hibiscus infusion. You know, like maybe like, I don't know, like do people like inject things in pancakes and then like, you know, after they're kind of like made somewhat and then like could finish baking them or cooking them, or you know what I mean? Like some people like, you know, when they get real fancy with some of these things, they like have like a baster and kind of like infuse something or something. I don't know why, it just kind of gave you like some kind of like that going on inside the pancake or something. But like, and there was like a nice light maple and blueberry aftertaste going on with this one. Slight creaminess going on, which plays well with the sweetness. It wasn't too sweet. Even with the maple, blueberry, and vanilla going on, you think like, oh man, this sounds real savory. I mean, it was savory definitely, but light, not too sweet to me. And it was like a baked, savory breakfast in a cup, but not heavy, like you would feel bad or stuffed after drinking it. You know, like you may drink a tea, you'd be like, man, what did I do that? You know, like, he's like, what did I do that for? You know, or something like that. I feel bad. You know, with this one, you just be like, it's tasty. You know, like that's what I got out of it. I didn't feel bad after drinking it. It was just like, you know, next time I was like, I think I might actually have like some pancakes next time I actually have this or something, you know, like to really increase it. But like, that's what I got out of this one. And number 4, honey bush blueberry pancake. All right, number 3, rooibos Noel. With this one here, we got rooibos tea with cinnamon, ginger, cloves, apple pieces, orange, natural spicy cinnamon flavor, rose petals, natural almond flavor, and natural orange flavor. And with this one, cinnamon was the main event here with this one, but it brought along that ginger, orange, and a smooth rooibos right there. And the rooibos had kind of a light caramel notes going on with it. And the scent of the cinnamon and the orange goes very well together. Like it smelled lovely. And with the taste, it's like the orange hangs out with the rooibos in the base of this one. And then the cinnamon and the ginger on the main stage above it, with cinnamon being, you know, like the first name on the credits. Like, you know, like you first taste the tea, you got the rooibos, and you got the orange, and then the curtains lift up, and you got both, like you see the cinnamon and you see the ginger there, but then you find out, you know, as you watch the rest of the movie, and then the credits roll, it's like, oh yeah, cinnamon was the main event there. And then, you know, you have the sweetness that throughout that goes along with the various ingredients. You know, there's some light spiciness going on. It also sticks around in the aftertaste. It's just like a very like these ingredients were just like really there, and they were really present. If you like rooibos and you like orange, but you didn't like cinnamon, well, you might not like this one. But if you like cinnamon and you like rooibos, but you don't like orange, you may not like this. But like if you like all three of those ingredients in general, like in blends and tea or something, this would be like definitely a winner in my book for that sense, because you got that, but you also have to have that light spiciness going on here. So it brings those very well, and that caramel kind of notes I was getting from the rooibos is just very smooth. Like this was a very nice base of a rooibos, and with it going with that orange, because something about rooibos and like orange and vanilla, like those two ingredients, when rooibos is with those, is usually great with me. Like it's a nice, you know, quality rooibos with those ingredients. Like it usually goes very well, and they went very well with the orange here, and then with the cinnamon, it just really like played off each other well, and the nice sweetness with this one. You got the spiciness going on from that cinnamon and the cloves right there. And it was just really, really nice. It was just really nice balance of that sweetness and spiciness. And even though cinnamon was the main event, like it definitely brought along the other flavors. And I feel like it kind of lifted them all up. It was like cinnamon with orange, cinnamon with cloves, you know, like everything like that. With still the whole time with that rooibos being a nice base with that orange as well, with that one. But that is number 3, Rooibos Noel. Number 2, white chai. And in this one here, we've got ginger, lemongrass, cinnamon, pineapple pieces, white tea, coconut, cloves, cardamom, natural spice flavor, apple pieces, red peppercorn, and natural cinnamon flavor. And it seems to be like a theme going on here. Like there's several spicy blends going on here. I don't know if I think in general, like this is kind of like a spicy calendar. Like as far as like, not like everything tastes spicy, but like if you notice, like a lot of cinnamon going on here, a lot of cloves and peppercorn, you know, like some of the ingredients are kind of, you've probably heard them multiple times, you know, in this video. But like with this one, it was a light and refreshing chai. You know, I only had it hot, but it seems like this one would be a nice one to have iced as well. When I say this might be nice iced as well, you know, not like a typical 1 to 3 ingredient iced tea that you would serve broadly at dinner, you know, like that you would serve and be like, hey, that you wouldn't introduce. You're just like, hey, this is iced tea we're having. You know, you wouldn't even say that. You're just like, who wants tea? You start pouring it or something. You know, not like that. But this would be one you would have to kind of serve with like a slight introduction, I feel like. But anyways, I didn't have it iced. I just kind of get that from having it hot, that it would make a nice iced tea, but a different kind of iced tea, I think. But with this one, I got the ginger, the lemongrass, the cardamom, the pineapple, the cinnamon. It all stood out, but none of the flavors are trying to take over. They all worked well together. And with this one, I got kind of a cantaloupe melon-based white tea that was delicate, and the other ingredients mentioned, you know, hovered above throughout that base right there. And sometimes in and out, and there's a nice light, peppery, spicy aftertaste going on with this one. This is a different kind of chai, but it was a much appreciated one, you know, because when a different type of, it had that white tea really made it kind of different with that kind of melon kind of base going on here. Not like slightly kind of like a fruity, I got just a little bit out of that notes out of that white tea, but then you got like the ginger, you got the cardamom going on, but then you actually have like the pineapple going on as well, and then cinnamon. Like, you know, you wouldn't, it just didn't seem like the ingredients wise, like what I tasted out of this was not something I would just typically think of. You think of chai, you know, you got ginger, you got cardamom, you got cinnamon, you know, you cloves, you got peppercorn, other things you might throw in there like that. But pineapple coming out and the white tea going on with those melon kind of notes I got from it, just a real kind of different kind of chai, but I really appreciated this one. Number 2, white chai. Number 1. What is it gonna be, folks? Number 1 is honey bush banana nut. Delicious. That's how I would describe this one. It tastes like a medium ripe banana bread and a banana muffin in a mug. And I know many people like use, you know, ripe bananas for banana bread, some ones, you know, that's sitting out for a while. But the banana in this one tasted like it was somewhere in between that spectrum. You know, not unripe, but not very ripe either. It was slightly nutty with the chestnut and hazelnut notes going on there, and those flavors with the banana was just scrumptious. And a taste of the cinnamon here and there, and as a fan of cinnamon, I usually always appreciate cinnamon in herbal blends and chais, and this one was very nice with this other ingredients it was working with here. It was tasty, like it was one to just, you know, just not just sip, you want to just like almost have something with it on this one. And a honey bush base is great. Slightly roasted and sweet in its flavor. A good level of sweetness in this one. Nice light banana aftertaste. So yeah, basically for this one, you have to like bananas to enjoy it. And I'm not like into bananas a lot, but I do like them themselves, like by themselves sometimes, or in baked goods, or in a matcha smoothie. However, I really enjoyed this blend. Not something I would drink every day, but it stood out enough in a great way to make it my #1 tea in this advent calendar. I feel like this is a tea that I would treat myself with for being good or something, or having like kind of a rough day or something, even like a little treat going on after work or something like that. And, you know, would make a nice cozy nighttime before bed kind of drink. A dessert type of tea when you wanted something kind of different than normal. Unless you mostly drink dessert teas, it just might not be that different for you. I don't drink a lot of dessert teas, and this isn't something I would drink every day, but it stood out enough in a good way to make it #1 on my advent calendar. Because like this one, when you read it, honey bush, banana nut, that is exactly what this one brings to you. Like, not a lot of ingredients in this one, but you taste every pretty much ingredient in here. Except for the marigold flowers, I didn't get much of that, but I mean, I got the honey bush tea, got the apple, you taste a little bit of that, with that bakedness you get from like the banana muffin. It's definitely the banana and the nutty kind of hazelnut, chestnut flavors are the main flavors I got, but you get the cinnamon there, you get the apple, it's like all that's in that baked good type of form. Herbalness of that honey bush, sweetness with that kind of slightly woody, but with the banana and the chestnut flavors being like the main ingredients in that baked good, with the other ingredients kind of being baked in there as well. Not super noticeable, but enough to where you notice them a little bit. And the cocoa nibs, I didn't get much of that, but they could have blended itself to the sweetness some maybe, but like I didn't taste like really chocolate in this one. But like I said, this list was definitely, it kind of tossed up. It went white chai was #1 for a little bit. I think at one point golden turmeric chai was like #3 or 2 or something. Honey bush blueberry pancake was 3, I believe, at one point. It just kind of bounced along, like I say. Strawberry banana was in the top 10. It just, and even the sage oolong. I remember that one tea in the advent calendar. It was in the top 10 at one point. But like, so yeah, there was some jumbling up going on here. And that is my top 10 favorite teas in the Adagio Tea 2020 advent calendar. And like I said, overall, I really enjoyed this advent calendar. There's a lot of great blends in this one. I mean, I'm trying to think of a blend I just really didn't. I mean, there were some blends I didn't like for sure in this one, but nothing that was just like, I was still glad that I tasted it, because like that's one great thing about having like an advent calendar. You get to taste different teas that you might not necessarily would buy. You wouldn't have to commit a lot to anything. But the good thing about Adagio Teas is that they have like smaller sizes as well. So you can get a sample size of something for a couple dollars and not really have to commit too much to it, with also being able to have enough to really taste it. You know, you even, you know, some of those sample sizes, you can have it iced, have it hot, and know whether or not, oh, I like that one both ways, or just that way, or something like that. And you can also have enough in the ingredients in there where you wouldn't feel like you were being like, oh, where's that ingredient, you know, or something like that. Usually they're blended pretty well. That is it with my Adagio Teas top 10 favorites in the 2020 advent calendar. Hope you all are having an awesome day. Enjoy that cup of tea you got, and make sure you check out my giveaway video that I have up for reaching the 1,000 subscribers. So check out that video for how you can get entered into that, and I hope you all enjoy that cup of tea you got. Take care.